Hey guys, Eric Roberts here. Man, it was busy weekend, and last week I had a couple questions about week 3. We're starting week 4 of the 30-day challenge, the first time through May. This is week 4 of the 30-day challenge. And, you know, some of you are asking the difference between the G in my regular charts, like the G that you learn in the Modern Worship Guitar Lessons book or in the first course, and the G, which is like this G right here. You're asking, what's the difference between this G and the G that I'm showing you in the challenge, the 30-day challenge, which is a little bit different. It looks like this, and you know, it's actually got a little funky thing. Actually, that's a C. Asking about G, E minor, the D, but I'm going to show you the difference, and I'm going to show you the difference from a music theory standpoint here. If I can find the G chord, geez, okay, here. This is the G chord that I'm showing in the 30-day challenge. Okay, this is it. No, this is it, G chord, and then the G chord that would be normal. I mean, this is the normal G chord. It's right there. But what is the difference? Well, I don't have a lot of time this morning. I have an appointment to go to, and so I'll come back this afternoon probably and do some more. If you have any questions, or this whole week you can ask. But we're in week 4, so you guys should be playing a song by now. You should be starting How Great Is Our God. But I made this little chart to show you the difference, and we're going to talk about the theory behind chords real quick in this video. So there's 3 different G chords, and I'll put this on the blog, or I'll upload this in a link in the description. 3 different G chords. There's the regular G chord, which is traditional, that you've learned from, many of you probably know is this, and then you have the G chord that I show you in my books, and then you have the G chord that I show you in the challenge. So you're probably thinking like, what, how many G chords does this guy know? How many G chords is this guy going to show me? Okay, well, I want to talk about the G chord itself is actually, and this goes back to chord theory, it's just 3 notes, G, B, D. It's the triad, G, B, D. That is the only 3 notes that are in the G chord. And so as a beginner, I'm showing you the easiest, coolest, and the most used G chord that really anybody uses. The one I use on stage, the one that all the artists are using, the one that they're playing, the one that everybody's playing, and mostly it's this one, the one that I'm showing you in the 30-day challenge. It's also the easiest one to play, requires the least amount of fingers, and it sounds better, and you know, and it's different for every song and every style, but we're doing the 30-day challenge to get you kind of kick-started, to get you really playing. Okay, so basically there's three notes in a G chord. There are 3 notes, G, B, D. It's the triad, G, B, D. That's it right there, G, B, and D. Those 3 notes are in a G chord. Now, it doesn't really matter how you get those 3 notes, or even if you use at sometimes all of those 3 notes, we know it's a G chord. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't, but let me see. This is the regular G chord, and I have this sheet for you. The regular G chord has, if you go from the top, and you know the notes that are sounding during the chord are G, B, D, G, B, G. So you got a G, a B, a D, a G, a B, a G. So let's listen to it. I got my guitar here, so let's listen to that G chord. That sounds like this. G, B, D, G, and that's a B, G. So that's your standard G chord, and that's what it sounds like. It's pretty open, and it's pretty. Then if we do the next G chord, the one I teach in my Modern Worship Guitar courses, it has 2 fingers up on the high end. So it has 2 fingers. So it has G, B, D, G, D, G at the very bottom. Let's listen to that one. Now that one's a little bit harder, and it sounds like this. So the only difference is you have that high D. So it's still a G chord. It's still got G, B, D. That's the only requirements for a G chord. It's not a different chord. It's just that we're playing a different voicing of it, different notes in different positions. So this is the old school, original, traditional country. I call it the country G, but whatever. Here's the country G. You can hear that note at the bottom. Hear that kind of ringing out? When you put the 2 fingers on the bottom, now you have a little bit different. Now here's why, for any of you who have stuck with me through this little live video, here's why I'm showing you my 30-day challenge G chord. The 30-day challenge G chord looks just like this. And people are saying, well, what's the difference? What are you doing this for and whatever? So look what I did. I'm Xing out the second note. So you have the low G, I'm Xing out the B, the D, the G, the D, the G. Now what's missing from this G? What's missing is in the triad the B, the G, B, D. There's no B sounding in this chord. Okay, that's what's missing. So we call it a G no third. Or what other people have called it on many charts is a G5, because it's really like a power chord type G. G5 would be like this. But my chord sounds like this. The chord, the G no third, or what would technically be a G chord with no third in it. It's still implied to be a G. It still sounds exactly like a G. Listen. So I have the first finger off, and I'm muting. That's why I made the big fat finger on this chart, which I think was a cool idea. I made the big finger look like really fat. Like you're going to lean down and touch that B string, that B note. Now, so to end this video today, we can have a conversation about this for as many months or years as you'd like, but to end just this first video to explaining the triad has 3 notes and they are laid out in different places on the G chord. So you can put different fingers or take different fingers off. You could even take this finger off. Here's the main reason why I take the finger off, why I have the muted third and it's a G no third. I think it sounds better. A lot of people use it. I don't like the way the tops, when I'm leading worship and strumming, a lot of rhythm strumming, I do not like that top B note. That B note is muddy. It's a third in a low register. So we have a G, B, in a low register. If you play that on a piano, if you go down real low on the piano and play a G and a B, it sounds muddy and junky. So a lot of piano players just play octaves in the low left hand, or they play fifths in the low left hand. Because thirds in the low registers sound muddy. So why I'm taking my finger off and leaving out the B note, which is the third, I'm Xing out the B note, which would be here. If we put that other finger, we'd have a B. Is because it's muddy and the chord sounds much better like this. Okay, that sounds clean. You have a G and a D in the low end. Now if you add the third back in, then you get this. Do it yourself there with your guitar. You hear that muddy blah, blah, blah. You don't want that. You don't need that. You don't want it. And wait for it. That's the dryer. That's not the winning buzzer. That was the dryer. Okay, so I'm in my home studio today. Even though they both look the same to you, this is my home studio. So we have I took out the third, and we don't want the muddy third. The other reason, which I talk about much more in my other courses, are you can actually use this first finger for other really cool things. So you got a really clean fifth G no third sound on the bottom. The reason I use 2 on the top, some of you are asking, do I need to use the 2 fingers down there? You got a much higher, nicer sound. It's much better than the regular old standard traditional. That just sounds like, that's another B note. It's another third. Or if you do the old country chord and try to do a modern worship thing, or trying to do a modern strumming kind of sound, then you get a lot of this. You got like a low mud, and if you try to do that, you get this B note that is pretty nasty, in my opinion, just ringing over your chord. It sounds much better if you were to, do this. Open the eyes of my Lord. Open the eyes of my Lord. So you got the high end on the top, and you got just the fifth, the G and the D on the fifth, no third, no mud. Now, this chord chart, when I go back, I have an appointment that I gotta run to, but this is a chart. I'll put it up on my blog, worshiptheking.com, or I'm gonna probably just put it right here on Facebook, put a link to it on this live video. So, make sure you like the page. If you like this video, share the video. I got quite a few of you watching today. If you have any questions about this music theory section of this video, put it in the comments, because later this afternoon I'm coming back. But this can be done with every single chord, and that's why some of you are asking, why are you doing this, or why are you taking your finger off, or why are you adding more fingers? So again, we have traditional, we have my book chord, and then we have my 30-day challenge chord, which is the one that everybody uses. If you ever go to a concert, or you're ever even watching your worship leader or your worship band, just watch them. They'll be taking their fingers off. They'll be adding the 2 on the high string. They'll be doing the things that I'm showing you how to do, because that's the way the songs sound best. And that's key. So do me a favor, like the video, share the video with your friends, and comment and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Just try to get involved here and ask me your questions, because I'm going to come back this afternoon right around 5 o'clock, and I'll probably have just a short time again to do some more questions. God bless you guys.